What's up, everyone? You're drafting Vintage Cube today. Took a little break from posting videos, but still been playing plenty of Magic. Mostly just Cube, actually. A little bit of Booster Draft, a couple of the last formats, but Vintage Cube is always my number one love, so I gotta record a few videos at least. So, I mean, this pack has Fractured Identity in it, so we're just gonna have to take that. I'll try to explain a bit of my Vintage Cube philosophy too in this video. If I wasn't going to take Identity, I would probably take Remand. Or Izzet Signet's okay, so is Courser, Rufix. I've definitely changed up how I draft a good amount in the last maybe year or two, the last like few seasons of Vintage Cube. I think the game has changed a bit. So there's some strong cards here. There's 2 blue dual lands. We're definitely going to want to play blue-white, though. At least we might play a third color, but there's also Shelldock Isle, which is probably the best land if we're going to take a land. Mind Twist is like pretty strong. Craterhoof is like basically the only reason to play mono green. So that's a defensible pick, I would say. But Shelldock goes really good with the 5-drop we have already. So I'm just going to take Shelldock. It's a really strong card. So there's no blue cards, really. Time Twister doesn't go great with Fractured Identity. I want to play more of a controlling deck, not as much of a combo deck. I like playing Bant. Sometimes Bant splashing one part of the Fractured Identity can work. When you're in green, it's pretty easy to do 3 colors, and so Oracle of Mul Daya is a good option. There's also Splinter Twin. Then we could go into blue-red, but we're not seeing a lot of blue, which is like pretty common in Cube. Blue is always overdrafted in Vintage Cube. Legacy Cube too, but really in Vintage Cube. So I think I'll just take the Oracle. We'll see how that goes. It is a bit rough that I passed Craterhoof just in the last pick, but oftentimes the Bant decks are less all in on Craterhoof. They're more card advantage, and they have control elements like the Fractured Identity, so that it could still work out okay. This pack's just pretty weak overall. Atarka's okay. Deranged Hermit is fine. It's even good if I'm in blue-green opposition, which could be a thing. Sower of Temptation is solid. It can be sideboarded a lot of times, and you just bring it in against the creature decks. So this is a tricky one. I think Deranged Hermit might have the most upside for me. Just if I'm going to play all 4 of my picks, I think if I pick up an opposition, I'll be happy that I have the Deranged Hermit. So we haven't seen great blue cards in the last few picks. It looks like combo might be open. Here's Turnabout. We've passed a few combo cards already. Yawgmoth's Will. Red is looking pretty open. So is white. Swords to Plowshares is pretty strong. Lightning Bolt also really strong. Eternal Witness is a fun card, but it's just a little bit slow for Cube. Mono white is looking open too, with Brimaz is a pretty strong card. I'll just take the Swords to Plowshares, and maybe we can still get into blue-white control somehow. Maybe we'll be having more white than blue, which is not ideal, but we could still make it work. Here's the new 5-drop Dragon that they brought in, which is a pretty strong card. And some more medium blue cards. I like Commit to Memory. The fact that Commit is really flexible is nice with blue. Blue has trouble dealing with permanents, so the fact that it can counter but also bounce a permanent, I like that card a lot. Repeal is just not that mana efficient, so I'm going to just take the Commit Memory. I also don't like Wall of Omens just because it's not good against the decks that don't have creatures in them. Okay, so combo looking pretty open with the 7th pick Brain Freeze. I'm not really set up to play combo. This is a pretty late Watery Grave. I don't really like Sun Titan, it's a little bit slow. I do like these 2 4-mana Planeswalkers. I'm not sure if I'll get the mana to be able to play Nahiri. Maybe I can go into a red-white deck. I guess I'll take Karn, most likely to be able to play it. I don't love Banishing Light, it's just a little too slow. So blue-white, I mean, I guess you could say it's open because there's a Geist of St. Traft here. I don't love that card, though. It's just really easy to block. And I think like blue-white aggro is a trap archetype. Like, if you're going to play aggro, like just play mono color, just play mono white. We have Mystical Tutor, which is playable with Fractured Identity. I guess I'll take the Mystical more like as a speculation. It's not great in control decks just because of the card disadvantage. So yeah, it looks like we're going to be able to do the blue-white control thing. We're getting a really late Elspeth. I mean, this card is slow, but it's really good in the creature matchups. It's like almost unbeatable. So, and there's nothing else in this pack that that's strong enough to move into another color. So we'll take that. I mean, this is a late control magic. It's kind of like Sower of Temptation, where you can sideboard it sometimes. Just it's not great against the Planeswalkers decks. It does nothing against combo, but I'll take it over Disenchant. Here's Needle Spires that maybe we could table that Nahiri. I kind of doubt it, but I think probably better to take this Stonecoil Serpent, which it kind of goes well with this Karn. So here's 2 black combo cards. Looks like combo is open. Mono red is open. There's 2 mono red cards here. I'll just take the Legionnaire. Yeah, mono red and mono white are open, which is pretty common. I'll take the Brimaz. Not sure if we'll be able to use it. And we table the Wall of Omens. That's fine. Wow, last pick Brain Freeze. You don't see that too often. So green was actually not open that pack, and we passed Craterhoof to someone on the left. So it pretty much just means green is not going to happen this draft, which I'm fine with. This pack, put Karn in the sideboard. Yeah, there's a counterspell here. This is a great card. Definitely take that. Cheap interaction is like one of the most important things for a control deck. Like, if you don't have cheap interaction, you just don't have a playable deck. The proactive decks are really good in Vintage Cube. Mono red, mono white, mono green, combo decks. They're just so good. You need to be able to interact with them early. So yeah, I prioritize stuff like Counterspell, Swords to Plowshares. That's really important. Balance, I could see that being good if we get some artifacts going to combo with this Karn, but probably better to just take the Ponder, which is just really strong. It's good late game, and it's good early to set up your lands and whatever, and then late game to find you threats. So playing at instant speed is really good for the control decks. And we have 2 options here. We have Resto and Venser. They're both pretty good. I think I'll take the Venser first. And, you know, last pack we tabled Brimaz, we tabled Wall of Omens. We could definitely table Resto, although I wouldn't count on it. Mox Diamond is okay in these decks because you can get a lot of card advantage, like Fact or Fiction and stuff like that. I'm not going to prioritize Wrath of God super high just because there are multiple Wraths in the cube. And a lot of times the cheaper spot removal is a little bit better, even though I definitely will want to get a Wrath of God for this deck. Wow, this pack is really great. There's Karakas, Colonnade, Stoneforge, Jite, and Narset. I would be happy to have all of those cards. Wow, this is pretty tough. We do not have any mana fixing yet. We have Venser to combo with Karakas. That's pretty good. I don't think I'm going to take Stoneforge or Jite just because it's not clear that you'll get both of them to combo. And then Narset. Narset has a lot of hits in our deck. We're not going to get Time Twister because we passed it in the first pack, which that's like the combo with Narset. Wow, this one is really tough. I'm going to just take the Karakas. I think it's a little better than Colonnade. Maybe if I would have taken Tundra over Karakas, but Karakas is just insane against opponents that have legendary creatures in their decks. It's just basically free removal that doesn't even take a spell slot in your deck. It's very absurd. So Frost Titan, I like a little bit more than Sun Titan, but still I think both of them are a little bit too slow for Vintage Cube. I like threats like Thief of Sanity way more. It does not really look like we'll be able to cast Thief of Sanity. So with that said, yeah, I'll just take the Titan. We're not necessarily going to have a ton of white pips in our mana base. We could take out Brimaz. We can take out even Elspeth. And then we're really only splashing white. So we'll see how that ends up. This is another tough pick. Skyclave Apparition is just an amazing card. Tundra also, though, turns on all of the fetch lands. This was really tough. I guess I just take the first duel. We have zero duels, so okay, our colors are looking fairly open, so that's good. Soulfire Grandmaster, we can take that and try to open Time Walk in the next pack. That's not going to be great. Scarab God, maybe we could splash it. I don't really like Faith's Fetters. It's just a little slow. Wear Tear would be okay. I think just the 2-drop, I can bring it in against aggro decks too. We don't need a 5-drop like Scarab God. We have these 2 strong 6-drops already, and we don't want to play black mana. So Trinket Mage can get our Stonecoil Serpent, which is looking like it's just an average card in our deck. And then we have Tithe Taker, which is, it's okay. It's good against instant speed decks and aggro decks. So I'm just going to take the cheaper card. Winter Orb. I think I'll just speculate on the Winter Orb. Our deck is heavily blue. I kind of want to get artifacts to combo with Karn, so if I see Urza in the next pack, I could take it, and then we can do the Urza Winter Orb thing. That could be cool. I don't think we're passing up on much. The other thing I would take would be Wandering Fumarole. Okay, I like Leovold, but we're not going to get there on casting it. Brawl looks okay. It actually only makes 2 of our spells cheaper, but maybe we can get more. Yeah, we did table the Resto, so glad we took the Venser first. And the Wrath of God is still here. We have Wall of Omens and Venser that combo with Resto. This is fairly close. I guess I'll just take the Resto because I can probably get Day of Judgment in the next pack. Probably doesn't matter which of those I take. We tabled the Relic Warder, which is going to be a little hard to cast. We're probably not going to have the mana to play Rishadan Port. So we have plenty of playables. We have some speculative cards in our main deck right now. Oh wow, we opened Ancestral and Mana Crypt. So we're definitely going to take Ancestral Recall. And maybe we can table this Arid Mesa, which would be nice. Tezzeret, we're probably not going to make Tezzeret work. So here's a blue fetch, which will get the Tundra. Or we can take Gideon. Gideon is kind of like a Wrath of God substitute, does a similar thing. Muldrifter, also pretty good. Also, it's a combo with Resto, which would be nice. But I think I'm just happy to take the Polluted Delta, and then I can table one of these 5-drops. Thalia is This is definitely not the deck for Thalia. Here's the Little Gideon, which is more of an aggressive card. I do really like it in mono white, but I'll just take Spell Pierce, and then Spell Pierce is going to go really well with our Ancestral Recall. We're going to get a lot of card advantage, and then we're going to be able to cast these cheap spells to interact, hopefully. So here's another cheap interaction spell, Condemn. It's definitely good against the aggro decks. I pretty much always sideboard it, but I think Thieving Skydiver can go in the main deck, and it's pretty good. It can steal Moxen if you pay 1 for the kicker, and it can even steal equipment. Yeah, just a pretty strong card. Okay, so here's a few white cards. Expensive white cards. We do have a good amount of cheap creatures that we can use with Elspeth. I do like the Elspeth, the second +1 ability, +3/+3 and flying until end of turn. It's really good at killing opposing planeswalkers and also just clocking the opponent. So definitely going to take that. I'm sure Lyra will table. It's a strong sideboard option against mono red, but that's about it. Okay, Snapcaster to go with our Counterspell and Ancestral. This is an amazing Snapcaster deck. Looks like we might not get the Wrath of God effect in the end, which maybe we'll end up paying for that. Council's Judgment is going to be quite good here. It works with the Snapcaster. Smuggler's Copter would also be good because we have so many of these cheap creatures, but I'd rather have the I'd rather have the Council's Judgment. We're kind of missing that effect that can kill any type of permanent. We do have Fractured Identity, but having 2 now, I feel really good. Probably can't play Thraben Inspector. Okay, we did table the Arid Mesa, which I'll happily take. We have a bunch of playables here. Revoker is solid, but I would rather have the land. And yeah, again, tabled the Gideon, was expecting that. Badlands, which we can fetch with both of our fetches. I don't really think we're going to find a use for it. And Linvala, which is okay. It like shuts off mana elves and stuff and stops Splinter Twin, I think, or Kiki-Jiki, but I'd rather have Condemn. Condemn is really good against the decks that want to attack you. Basically, Swords to Plowshares against them. Probably not going to be able to play any of these. Okay, so yeah, this deck looks pretty solid. We did not get there on the Urza, so I'll put the Winter Orb in the sideboard, the Wall of Omens in the sideboard. Dem will go in the sideboard. Mystical Tutor. Well, we ended up getting the Ancestral Recall. It's still really not that great with Mystical Tutor. It's, yeah, basically draw 2 cards for 2 mana. It's not exactly broken, but it might be worth playing. We're going to have to make a couple of cuts. So yeah, I'll take some of the weaker cards and pull them to the right and see which ones we should cut. Don't want to cut any of the 1-drops just because they're so efficient. It really matters, even though like the Spell Pierce it's not going to be good against certain decks, but it's just so efficient that when it's good, it's great. And then we've got some other cards that are questionable. We can actually kind of go off with the Soulfire Grandmaster. We have Swords to Plowshares and Ancestral, which is like kind of wins the game in the late game, but those sorts of late game stalls they don't happen that often. But let's see. I mean, we have Relic Warder, a little bit hard to cast early. We have Karn, and we really only have one artifact to combo with it, so the -2 ability is like not that great. And then we have these 3 top-end cards, which, you know, maybe we only need 2 of them. I kind of like the Thraben Inspector just because it's nice value with Resta. Let's see, what happened with the Baral? Yeah, we still don't have that many instants and sorceries with colorless mana in their costs. We only have 3. So yeah, pretty safe to take Baral out, I think. And then I think Mystical Tutor, I think we like barely got there on it. Like, if I only had Ancestral and these removal spells, maybe it would be not that good, but Fractured Identity is kind of like an insane 2-for-1, so we also have the option to get that with Mystical Tutor, so I kind of like that. We can use it early to get Ancestral, we could use it late to get Fractured Identity. That's not bad. I want to take one of the expensive cards out. Yeah, I think we would just have one too many, these 4, 5, 6 drops. So I think the worst 4-drop is Karn. Elspeth is really good. We're not going to cut Elspeth. Sun's Champion. Yeah, maybe it's just Frost Titan. Well, we can bring in the Frost Titan against like green decks. It's kind of good at tapping down big green creatures, but yeah, let's go like this. This is 23 cards. Play 17 lands. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Six plains, 6 islands. That sounds about right. I think we're pretty even on colors. We have a lot of double white. Some double blue as well. Yeah. Looks pretty good. Then we have the Shelldock and the Caracas that balance each other out. Okay. Okay, we're here for round 1. We are on the draw. Gonna keep this hand. Looks like my opponent's on mono green. Definitely start off with Ponder. The Tithe Taker is going to be pretty weak. We do want the island. And Mystical Tutor will actually be solid, so yeah, let's keep these. I can shuffle away the Tithe Taker with Mystical Tutor next turn. Okay, so they are on blue-green, actually. So I can ambush the Lotus Cobra here, which I don't mind doing that. I have a lot of action in my hand, so it's not really clear that I'm going to be able to spend mana efficiently on a Snapcaster flashing back something. My opponent is being smart here, putting out their Oracle pre-combat. So I'm going to take this. I'm actually going to try to ambush the Oracle next turn. It looks like my opponent has plenty of mana. They're drawing Raphellos. They have Jiraga Treespeaker, so I'm going to try to cut them off of card advantage instead. So I'm going to Mystical here. And yeah, same deal. I'm going to go for... I think I just go for the Ancestral. Is there something I would play? Yeah, there might be. So I'll just... Okay, hold on. I'm on 7 cards. I'll play my land down to 6, 5, 8. Okay. No, I don't want to discard. So I'm gonna just pass. There's probably nothing I'll do besides Snapcastering. Sorry, besides yeah, holding up 2 mana for Snapcaster here. If I can ambush an Oracle of Moldiah, that's really good. Let's see if we get the chance though. Okay, Questing Beast is pretty good here. We can find an answer though. So I can actually Snapcaster Mystical Tutor for... Yeah, that has to be good. I'll just cast Mystical Tutor here and get my Swords to Plowshares and start using these cheap spells. Gonna fall to 12. My opponent has Raphelos in hand. And Phyrexian Revoker, I think. Forgotten the top card already. Okay, so this time I am gonna Ancestral main phase and see what we can get. Okay, so just gonna remove the Questing Beast. Not able to chump block it, so... And now I'll just try to win through card advantage. They have something big like a Titan, or we could be in some trouble, but we still have plenty of action in our hand. We also have Venser Resto, so we should be able to stall for a while. I can Relic Warder the Revoker. Oh wow, they have Natural Order. Okay. Wow. Not bad. Wow, like that's exact damage. It didn't see the Natural Order. So yeah, I don't think we could have done anything to stop that. But it's good to know about. So we can bring in Condemn. And we can bring in the Frost Titan if we want to. Yeah, Spell Pierce. I mean, it counters Natural Order, but not that often. Craterhoof is certainly a problem. We're going to have to bring in the Condemn, though. It's just really strong. Yeah, I think we can take out the Spell Pierce, and then we can maybe take out one of these dorky creatures. Tithe Taker is kind of weak. But yeah, let's just take that out. Bring in Frost Titan. And we'll be on the play. Well, we have Karakas against their Raphellos, which is in their deck. They have Questing Beast too. Is that thing legendary? And no one can remember if that thing's legendary. We just don't have blue mana. We're missing our broken cards like Ancestral, so definitely makes it. Yeah, I think we can just mulligan. Really, Karakas is the only good card in this hand, so. This is a pretty mediocre hand, but can just put back the 6-drop, seems okay. And I guess I'll just fire off the Mystical to get Ancestral Recall. We didn't see any blue cards from our opponent last time. I wonder what they're playing. Might be Upheaval, might be Opposition. Oh, okay, it's Ancestral Recall. Nice. I don't know why they did that. You're gonna have to discard now. Ulamog. Okay, that's another Karakas target. Okay, we did hit the Shelldock, but I will just ponder. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Put Condemn on bottom. Now we should be able to deal with any of their creatures. I think I just want to curve into Elspeth. Oh, I'm actually getting rid of my Condemn here. Yeah, I didn't exactly want to take that Condemn off the top of my library, so kind of regret that, but now I'm guaranteeing I can play Elspeth next turn. Okay. They called Jace the Mind Sculptor last time. Okay, so they have a blank Revoker. They're off to a slow start. They're holding up Mana Leak or something of the sort, but I'm just going to jam this Planeswalker. If it resolves, it's going to be pretty good. Oh wow, they got their Ancestral back. Okay, they're making up for the 2 discards by just drawing Ancestral again. Not bad. Okay, I probably should have attacked before I played this Elspeth, but I'll still just offer the trade. So now I was able to get on board before they don't even have a green creature in play to natural order yet. I guess they could technically play a 1-drop here and do it, but I can survive the Crater Hoof. But on the next turn, I can start holding up commit memory. Okay, we can deal with that. Getting pretty close to the condemn. We're going to go down to 24 cards here. Stone Coil. Yeah, I'm just going to start by Swords to Plowshares here. I could resolve a Stone Coil because it's kind of the same thing. I'm not too afraid of anything my opponent could play. So yeah, let's just do that. Primeval Titan would be pretty good. Or even Frost Titan would be okay. I can block Questing Beast. Okay, they have Slime, so that's going to kill my Serpent. No, the Condemn. Or sorry, the Sheldock. It's okay. Okay, so now they have Natural Order up. But now I'm just going to start hitting them for 7 in the air. They have 4 cards in hand. I don't think I need to get the Gideon down. Let's force them to do something. I can make some blocks. If they attack with Slime to my Elspeth, I can just take it. It doesn't really matter. I don't need to ultimate this Elspeth. They're up to 8 mana, so they can cast Craterhoof. Gideon is a nice Craterhoof insurance policy. Later, I can just cast Gideon and +2. They'll have to deal with that. They want to attack me. I think something big. Okay, they do have the Craterhoof. So second from the top. So they will not draw it next turn, but they will draw it the turn after. No attacks. Okay, there's Resto, which doesn't really do anything. So I can swing out here. My opponent will take 8. Seems pretty good to me. They can eat one of my creatures, but they're going to go to 7. So they're going to have to answer this Stone Coil Elspeth combo that I have going. And then if they want to use the Craterhoof, they're also going to have to get past this Gideon. So, yeah, we're looking pretty good here. They could Upheaval would do something for them. We would have a game on our hands if that happens. Okay, there's Oracle. Now, do they have Natural Order? They wouldn't be able to get Craterhoof. No, they have Kitchen Finks. Okay, that's going to gain them 2 life. But I have Gideon now, so I can attack for 9, actually. So they have 1 green mana up. So we well, Be a pretty interesting situation. I don't think any card can beat us now, except for maybe Nature's Claim to gain them 4 life. But I don't think I'm going to play around that. I'm going to just attack them. So this does 9. Okay, they're scooping. Pretty happy with the deck. We'll just run it back. Could have brought in the Spell Pierce because they have Ancestral Recall. It's kind of hard to hit that though. So this hand is kind of slow. Not necessarily. We have the Condemn. Yeah, this hand's fine. We have the Resto Inspector combo. We can take out their Signet with the Relic Warder if they have the Signet again. Probably just fire this Condemn off early if we get a chance. Okay, opponent went down to 6 cards. We do need to find a way to deal with Craterhoof. We don't have any counter spells or anything like that, so. Okay, Devoted Druid. Can't do anything about that one. I'll just pass to crack the clue. Probably should have kept the Tundra in my hand because they have the Ooze. Or the Slime, I mean. Yeah, that can destroy it. But it looks like they don't have it here. Okay, they're off to a bit of a slow start to just casting Yavimaya Elder. That's okay. Okay, now I'm going to get a creature into play. I don't think there's a big upside to holding onto the Skydiver. I only saw Phyrexian Revoker and Dimir Signet from my opponent, so I'll just get the flyer into play. Probably not going to be able to use the Condemn here. Yeah, they're just going to draw a card and search for 2 basics. Is this Questing Beast? No, Kitchen Finks. Okay. I'm going to hold on to the Polluted Delta in case I draw Ponder. Seems kind of close. I could just thin my deck, but opponent has not seen the Resto yet, so decent chance we get to ambush it here. I don't love our spot though. We're pretty weak to a natural order here. Okay, there's the Revoker. They did see 2 of my Planeswalkers last game, so I imagine they're going to call one here. Maybe they'll call Gideon because I haven't had the chance to cast it yet, so that seems like a nice play from the opponent. We're going to get the chance to ambush this, so we will take it. Might fire off this Relic Warder here, just to keep my opponent's creature count low. Just trying to not die to Craterhoof. Okay. I just haven't seen anything better. So I'm okay with that. I'll hold my mana up here. Maybe they'll be worried about a counterspell instead of cracking the clue before the Relic Warder. Have a pretty slow clock going here, so still a little bit flooded, but we'll see what happens this turn. Okay, Wall of Roots. And they do have the natural order, so I can crack the clue in response. It's not gonna... There's nothing I can draw off of it, though. Let's see if they have anything besides Craterhoof to get. No, just the Craterhoof. So I'm happy about the Relic Warder play, because I mean, I think we're still alive here. Yeah, we're definitely still alive. We'll put the Craterhoof on the bottom. Yeah. Honestly, it is a bit of a concern to put it back in their deck. Maybe they have Green Sun Zenith or something like that, but that's okay. Now I have the question of, do I want to block? I think I can just take 8. That's fine. Opponent is back up to 25, so yeah, we still have a... Still going to take us a while to close this game out. They have 2 cards left, so... Fencer. Not bad. Okay, we have the Gideon. They're at 25. I can attack for... Let's see, they have 5, 6. I kind of like destroying the Devoted Druid here. It takes him off of 2 mana, so I'm pretty happy about that. Now I can attack for 7. And I should be able to put them on a 3-turn clock here. So this is turn 1. We go to 18. Maybe we can get them in 2 more turns. I haven't seen the rest of their top end. Okay, they're just gonna scoop. Nice, that was a solid match. Okay, here we are for round 2. We're on the draw. This hand is pretty suspect. We can't really cast anything. We can't even kick Skydiver at the moment. This hand seems a little bit weak. I would like to have one more land. It's also just good to mulligan into Ancestral Recall in this deck, so gonna mulligan it pretty aggressively. Okay, pretty easy. I see Ancestral Recall, I keep. I'll play the Tundra first so I can play a turn 2 Relic Warder if I want. Happy that we did not get Thoughtseized turn 1. Okay, Pack Rat, that could be a problem. We don't have a Wrath of God in our deck, so Raucous does not help either. Okay, I'll just play a blank Relic Warder. I could definitely see our deck having trouble with Pack Rat. We're not the best at racing, and we do not have a board wipe. Okay. Roll Magic. Not bad. I mean, if they miss another land drop, we can Control Magic the Pack Rat. When the opponent is missing land drops, if they eventually hit 3, Oh, they have Mox. I assume they're just going to be using the Pack Rat. Because they might not be able to play some of their more expensive cards. Yeah, I think I just have to Resto here. It's just too good. Maybe we can race. We've drawn Control Magic and Commit Memory. I'm going to take out their mana. I know they don't have any other lands in their hand. Okay, they did draw another land. Oh, they're playing Reanimator. Okay, they bring back Atarka. They're going to be able to destroy my Resto. That would make sense to me. No. Interesting. Not really clear that having 4 mana is that much better than having 3 mana. Okay, so I have Karakas to deal with Atarka, but I mean, I'm definitely just going to Control Magic it. And just gonna try to race here. We're both at 20. Opponent is now going to 17. Yeah, I think we're in okay shape. We'll see if this Atarka can survive on our side of the board. Okay, I like these cards. Soulfire is the worst. And which one do I want to protect from discard? I guess Council's Judgment. I can Mystical for Fractured Identity. That might be really good if my opponent can do something crazy like reanimate a Gristlebrand or something. At this point, their Pack Rat's not going to kill me. It's going to be too slow. I'm drawing the removal spell. Okay, they have green in their deck. Not sure what that means. Why would they be playing green? Maelstrom Pulse. Okay, I could Mystical Tutor upkeep here. I don't think I need to, though. I'll finally put the Karakas down. I'll stop slow rolling it. I think I just put the shields down for 1 turn. Get rid of the Stone Coil. Oh, wow. My opponent could have voted for Animate Dead there, I think. And then I would have lost my Atarka, but, well, that would have been a pretty sick play if they did. They did not. Okay, so Condemn is sometimes good against Reanimator. What do I have that's not good? This is definitely where Control Magic and Fractured Identity shine. And Mystical Tutor is pretty good too. But yeah, I think just my dorky creatures are the weak cards. Maybe Karn is weak too. He did have a Mox, so I want to keep in both of my artifact removal spells. Let's just take out the Tithe Taker again. Put in the Condemn. If we can Condemn on an early Pack Rat or something, it's going to be good. Okay, so we have no white mana, and we have a double white card in hand. And we have some of the Stone Coil and Soulfire Grandmaster are 2 of the worst cards in our deck. This was a pretty easy mulligan. And yeah, we get the same thing here. We mulligan into the Ancestral, which looks pretty good. Put the Plains on bottom. Yeah, I mean, this hand is pretty amazing. They don't have discard to break this hand up. I think this game's going to go pretty well for us. Council's Judgment, which is another removal spell we already have. I think I can shuffle these. I want to draw... Maybe I could have drawn the Council's Judgment and then shuffled away with Polluted Delta. That probably would have been good. No, and I still have to discard. Okay. Yeah, we don't have a fast block here, which is why I shuffled those cards. Take this off. I'm pretty happy to wait for a while. If they resolve something big, we can always Fractured Identity. There's their discard outlet. I may have put this Karakas down too early. They did know it's in my deck though. I could play the Polluted Delta, but I'll just wait so I could play around Opposition Agent. Okay, there's a Tarka in the bin. I mean, that's really not going to do anything on this board. The enter the battlefield effect does nothing. And then I just bounce it, so... It's looking like the Spell Pierce might not do anything this game. Could have discarded it instead of the Stone Coil. Opponent definitely has a lot of mana. Might start doing stuff like hard casting a Grave Titan or something like that. We have Unburial Rights. So yeah, that's fine. So this is why I put the Karakas into play. And there's the Grave Titan, okay. And they're gonna reanimate it. Okay, I guess I'll just Spell Pierce. Yeah, this game's over. Okay, we're in the finals. Let's see if we can get a trophy with this deck. That would be pretty sweet. We're on the draw again, and we're definitely gonna be mulliganing again. This is pretty self-explanatory. Oh wow, we did not mulligan into Ancestral. How is that possible? Let's see. Yeah, this is fine. Pretty average hand, but we'll keep it though. So I can Ponder, and I can shuffle away one card with the Arid Mesa the next turn. That seems fine. Control Magic, Hit Memory, and Island. I guess I just keep all of these. I'll give myself the option to shuffle away the worst one. And the worst one is probably going to be Commit Memory. Yeah. Could have waited on the Ponder because I don't know what my opponent's playing. Might be blue-white control, might be mono-white. Oh wow. So they brought Qasali Pridemage back into the cube. That is cool. Okay. So I guess I'll draw the card that's on the top of my deck. So maybe my opponent's playing some sort of mana denial strategy. Sometimes you see that with the green-white with Knight of the Reliquary and Strip Mine, Ramunap, Excavator. We'll see. They are going to be able to destroy my control magic, though. Okay, Kitchen Finks. So the Serpent doesn't do a ton if I play it. It does have protection from Qasali Pridemage. Yeah, I kind of just have to play it. I need to spend my mana. I'll not attack. I don't want to trade for half of Kitchen Finks. No attacks. Wow. Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, Stonecoil has protection from Kitchen Finks too. Of course. Okay. So I'll definitely hold on to the control magic. Yeah, we'll just pass here. Yeah, I can also just keep the Soulfire Grandmaster around until I draw Ancestral Recall or Swords to Plowshares, and that's going to be really good. But my opponent might have some big cards in their deck, some Planeswalkers, or yeah, there's the Planeswalker there. So we'll definitely... Karakas is good against Gideon, though. But yeah, I'll commit to memory. This gives me a chance to control magic the Pridemage. See what we hit on Shelldock. Not very close to activating it, but suppose I'll take Elspeth. So I know my opponent has Gideon coming down in 2 turns. The control magic is just not going to get any better, is the thing. So they're always going to have that option to destroy it with the Pridemage. So now I'll just do this, and I can attack for 4, unblockable. And this is going to make the Gideon a little bit better, a little bit worse. So I might be able to attack it down. Let's see if they have a Titan or something. No attacks. Okay, so Gideon coming down next turn. Just leave Karakas up. There's no chance that this... And I'll just plus the Karn. I could make a 2/2 with it, but that's probably not going to be that useful. Okay, so we hit 2 good spells. Make the same attack. Resto's not really doing anything on this board. My hand is pretty weak. Oh wow, they have Containment Priest. Containment Priest also not really doing a ton here. Fractured Identity is going to just be insane. I can just destroy their Gideon next turn. They can just so they're going to destroy my Stonecoil here. Yeah, okay. I should have kept that in mind. But I have a ton of card advantage here. I'm feeling pretty good. $22 cards, so we're getting close. Getting close to the Shelldock. Definitely just take out the Gideon. Plus. So they're going to have to attack next turn. They're at 14. So maybe a Elesh Norn or something would be good, but we actually have the Karakas to just deal with that. Okay, so Banishing Light. How does this work with Qasali Pridemage? So I can just destroy it with Qasali Pridemage, and then it won't exile the Gideon. I think that's how that works. We're gonna go for it. Okay, yeah. I think Oblivion Ring would have exiled the Gideon, but they changed the templating for Banishing Light. So they have to attack here. Both hit Gideon. And I'm just not going to block. My opponent has 2 cards in hand and 3 mana. Okay, 21 cards. So yeah, we have lethal? No. We can plus the Karn though. Island, Mystical. So Mystical, that's not going to do anything for us. Game will probably be over by the time we can get that. But Shelldock is online now, so let's go ahead and put Elspeth into play. Yeah. Put the opponent to 3. We have Resto. They're going to be hard pressed to win here. I don't even think Natural Order for Craterhoof wins. Doesn't really seem like they should have that in their deck. We can beat Wrath of God too. So yeah, I'll just play into the Wrath of God. It's fine. Thalia. Okay, so that's another legendary. Yeah, we're making very good use of Karakas this draft. Pretty happy that I took it over Celestial Colonnade and those other great cards. So we're playing against another creature deck. Bring in the Condemn. Spell Pierced is good against their Planeswalkers. We only saw the one, but I think our deck is pretty well set up as it is for the matchup. Is something better than Tithe Taker? Probably Condemn. If they have a bunch of creatures, Condemn is probably a little bit better. Okay, so we have 2 lands. We have both our colors. 1 interactive spell we could cast. Yeah, this is fine. We do need to draw some lands, but we just need 1 land, and then we can cast 3 of our spells. We should be fine. If we miss our 3rd land drop for a while, we could be in trouble. But we have the Resto Venser combo. I like that. Okay. Stone Coil for 2. I think we'll wait. There's the Questing Beast. It is legendary. I knew it. Okay, perfect Condemn target. Definitely good that this is not Tithe Taker. Much better than Tithe Taker. Oh, and there's the Karakas. Which would have very cleanly answered that Questing Beast. But yeah, I'll play this Stone Coil Serpent. Yeah, Karakas is just insane this draft. So many legendary targets. Okay, they have 2 Moxen. They can play, I mean, a Primeval Titan would be pretty good here. They would get 2 lands before we can remove it. But, wow, okay. What are they playing that's so big? Are they like a Channel Eldrazi deck? They have 1 card left in their deck. Wow. This... Okay, let me count their mana. 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, plus Tribe Elder is 10. So that means they can cast Ulamog, the one that exiles 2 things when you cast it. What would I do against that? I'd kind of just be dead. Fencer is not going to help me too much against it. Yeah, it's not going to help me against the cast trigger Eldrazi's. I mean, what else are they going to cast? I think I just get the Elspeth going. I really don't know what the opponent is building up to, but I would rather just start the clock. They didn't use the Secure Tribe Elder. So if they don't have something big this turn, then I can hold up Venser. Then after that, I can resto the Venser. Oh, I just realized in the last game that I restoed my creature and it got containment priested, so I just destroyed my own creature for no reason. That was that was bothering me. Why that thing just disappeared? That was a great play. Okay, they're tanking for a while. They have Banishing Light. Deranged Hermit. One card in hand. Pretty interesting spot. I kind of want to just keep racing them. This might be kind of insane, but can hit them. Okay, they have something here. They have Beast Within. So Beast Within is gonna resolve. Yeah, okay, so change of plans. Now I will just Council's Judgment the Hermit. Draws Gideon, it's gonna be pretty good. Yeah, if he draws a Planeswalker, it's possible that I will regret this decision, but I have Elspeth at the moment, and so Elspeth is really good at just taking Planeswalkers out. So I'll do this. This is more mana efficient. Now maybe later I can double spell with these, with the Swords to Plowshares. But I mean, we're in a pretty good spot here. Opponent just has, they're just top decking. They do have basically unlimited mana, but our Elspeth's going to go down to 2 loyalty. Okay, opponent, yeah, they don't have anything. Now I have Snapcaster plus Condemn or Swords. So if I jump this, Elspeth will get to 3 loyalty. Then I can Venser, bounce Squirrel, block a Squirrel, then it'll go down to 1. Interesting. That seems fine. Just trying to end the game as quickly as I can before they cast an Eldrazi. Okay, let's see if they drew anything this turn. Okay, just a mana elf. Yeah, I mean, we're in a pretty good spot here. My Elspeth can survive right now against their 3 1-power creatures. Just barely. So opponent is really going to need to draw something good next turn. They might not have any outs. We'll see. Shelldock. Put Fractured Identity under it. And we'll do the same play. We'll jump the Beast. Hold up Resto. This time there's no Containment Priest in play to mess with us. Snapcaster. Yeah, I think I just let the Elspeth die, actually. And I can hold up Resto. Now I can counter something. Like a Wrath of God. Okay, let's see if they have anything. No, they don't. Okay, awesome. Well, that was pretty fun draft. Classic blue-white control. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.